Black Goose family, what's good with it, man? We here again. Shout out to everybody that's right now in the chat. As always, please give me a little second. Let me make sure everything sounds right. The energy might be a little different today, you know what I'm saying? Had a long day, wasn't really feeling it like that, but I want to go ahead and talk about some of these upcoming fights. Especially Daniel Dubois versus Joyce. I'm really excited for this. I've been waiting for this to happen for a minute, but just let me make sure the sound right, y'all. Appreciate all y'all in the chat. Please do a like, subscribe. Check out our music, soundcloud.com/BlakGooseTV. As always, the same thing. Let me just make sure everything sounds good. Sounds good, y'all. Alright, I'm gonna give it a second. I'm gonna allow people to maybe come in if they're a little bit late. At the end of this song, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the topic. Y'all can see the topic below, what we're gonna be talking about. Joyce versus Daniel Dubois is final. We're also gonna talk about Adam Kownacki. His fight for 2020 was announced, who his opponent is. Josh Taylor got his fight in bidding right now. Jeff Horn got his fight announced, and then Regis Prograis has a fight in negotiations. We're gonna talk about all that. Let's go ahead. So how y'all doing, man? Anybody else rocking with me right now? How y'all day go? You know what I'm saying? It's Wednesday. I'm excited for the weekend. The weekend's a big deal, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the process right now. Y'all was able to see everything. I moved everything so it don't look crazy, but I'm in the process of moving. So I'm gonna be moving soon. Excited for that. It's been a good day. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing? I'm excited for that fight, man. Of course, the young gun. Daniel Dubois. I know I say his name wrong, I just do it just cause. It's Dubois to be real, but I just feel like that shit sound a little saucy when you say Dubois. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Any of y'all watch the Conor McGregor Cowboy press conference? I watched that shit, man. Conor McGregor looks like he's focused, man. I don't know, man. The thing, though, I noticed, though, is Conor's giving Cowboy a lot of respect, and everybody know, you know what I'm saying, Cowboy fights the best when his opponents respect him, so can't wait for that shit. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. This is probably not going to be as long as a stream as I usually do. I'm just going to talk about some upcoming fights for 2020. Only if you're really a hardcore boxing fan, you're going to know a lot of the names I'm going to be talking about. But the one particular I'm going to be focusing on goes by the name of Joyce, also Daniel Dubois. They are upcoming in the heavyweight division, possibly the next stars in the heavyweight division. Daniel Dubois, he's been compared to Anthony Joshua. That's this man right here, you know what I'm saying? He's only, I think, 22 or 23 years in age. And then obviously you got Joyce. Joyce, he started in the game a little bit later. He's actually 33 right now. So for him, he has to make his rise a little bit quicker, while Daniel Dubois, he can come up a little bit slower. But honestly, man, he's progressing. For him to fight Joyce at this point, I think that's a testament to how confident he is in his skills, because that's going to be a hard fight. Once again, remember too, the fact that this is going to be happening. Hey man, what's good with it, snipers, man? I'm happy you in the chat. Got someone here early. Once again, it's probably not going to be a long stream, but you know what I'm saying, I'm just going to get straight to it. And maybe it might be on me, man. Maybe I need to hit something in the settings where maybe the bell isn't notifying people. So I'm gonna make sure I check that out. But thanks for letting me know, man. But so I usually, you know, I don't usually go right into it, but you know what I'm saying, today I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go right into it. We're gonna talk about it. But I'm gonna get back to what I was saying when it comes to Daniel Dubois. I'm like, it shows his testament to how much he's improved and how confident he is in his ability to go against someone like Joyce. Because even though Joyce is young in the game, you know what I'm saying, he was in the Olympics. I think he got the silver or bronze medal. He fought Alexander Usyk. He did lose, but he gave him a hell of a fight. And this is the fight. I don't know if any of you guys saw Joe Joyce for Brian Jennings, but the improvement Joe Joyce showed in this fight was amazing, because a lot of people would say he's kind of like stuck in the mud in a sense when he fights. He's stiff, not a lot of head movement. Now in the beginning of this fight, yeah, it does look like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward to mid, because I'm not trying to show all the fight. But when he starts to get comfortable, his movement is beautiful, and this is what we've been waiting for Joe Joyce, because Joe Joyce is really, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it in the ring, he's an athletic freak. He has that cheerleading background. If you've seen, there's clips of him with nunchucks, or clips of him doing taekwondo kicks, backflips. So he's athletic, but it's just the thing about it. Boxing is a different type of athleticism. So you can be athletic in boxing, but it takes a while for you to get comfortable and be able to show that off in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And I think Joe Joyce is finally there. But the only knock on Joe Joyce is he is 33 years old, and that's just a fact. So for him, he's kind of more in a rush. But there's not too many people who wants to fight him when you're talking about ahead of him. What I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna probably throw up some rankings right now, the heavyweight division, just so you see where Joe Joyce is at, and then also you see where Daniel Dubois is at right now, just so you guys can get an idea. Let's do that. That sounds like a good idea. And remember, Joe Joyce is with, I believe he's with Matchroom now. I'm not 100% sure about that. Let's go over here. I like that one, because it looks like it's showing everybody here. But I know for a fact, Joe Joyce is with PBC. My bad, I got distracted. I'm over here looking at the screen. Joe Joyce is with PBC. Is Daniel Dubois, I'm not sure. I think he's still with Frank Warren, if I'm not mistaken. So, okay, yeah, I like this website. We're going to roll with this website. So let's get out of this. I came back from watching the UFC pre-fight press conference. Ocho Cinco was there. Damn, you was there? Like, you watched it live? I was just talking about that shit. Oh, that's probably why you said it. Because you probably, once again, my shit's a little bit delayed, so if I'm answering a little late, that's why I maybe just staring at the screen. That shit was probably dope. I was watching it, at home. I'm like, I was saying, man, Conor McGregor looked focused, man. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight, but at the same time, Cowboy fights the best when he got respect from his opponent. Alright, this kind of... Man, this looks like some old-ass ranking. Oh, no. Oh, they saying when they got it. Okay, bet. Alright, this is updated. Alright, here we go. This comes from standard.co.uk. You see, you got Dillian White, number 1. You know what I'm saying? He been mandatory for 800 days. He been saying Tyson Fury, Luis Ortiz. But what we going to get to is right here. Number 9. Joe Joyce. So, if you look at just the WBC rankings right there, Joe Joyce actually has a lot of options. But we're going to talk about Adam Kownacki. He's already booked. Joseph Parker, you already know he's not looking for no Joe Joyce fight. Joe Joyce versus Derek Chisora would actually be a good fight, but Derek Chisora has an opportunity to fight Usyk. Joe Joyce for Oscar Rivas, that'd be cool. Obviously, Usyk is number 4. Or Ortiz, probably Ortiz is way too good for Joyce right now. Not yet, maybe later. Then obviously Tyson Fury and Dillian White, they're not even going to take that fight. Yeah, hey, we're going to go live for that fight. So just hop in the live stream. We'll explain everything, man. We got you, man. It's going to be lit. I can't wait. We're going to be going live. We're going to be talking about that fight Saturday because we got that card. Then you got Julian Williams fighting Rosario. And then we also got the Lakers game we'll be talking about too. So make sure you hop in that, man. It's going to be lit. It should be a great fight. The card is going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? But it should be a great fight. Everyone in the chat, shout out to y'all, man. Go ahead and drop a like, man. It means a lot for the channel. But yeah, let's go ahead and get back to this right here. So you see, this is where Joe Joyce is. Now, where is Dubois? That's the question. The young guy. So obviously Joe Joyce is taking a lot, fighting someone. Well, you can see he's over here. He's ranked number 6 for the WBO. That's actually pretty high, man. And I'm like, if you look at his options, Adam Kownacki is already booked. You got Michael Hunter just got done fighting Povetkin. So he's not ready to fight. Joseph Parker, once again, he's trying to get that Usyk fight. Obviously, Joshua Fury, Usyk. So this actually makes sense for Joe Joyce. because you can see he's all, you know what I'm saying, he's number 9. He's actually below. I remember there was a time, I don't know if y'all follow it like that, but there was a time when Joyce was saying there was no reason for him to fight him because he would be losing everything. But now you can see, you know what I'm saying, even though Joyce is ranked number 9 by the WPC, and it's the WBO that Daniel Dubois is ranked by, he's a higher ranked guy. So now the fight makes sense. So it makes sense why this is close to being done, which is saying right here in this article. It's coming from BoxingNews24.com. It's progressing apparently for April 18th. This is going to be a good fight. May. Andy Ruiz is expected to fight in May. That's what they're saying. So most likely when they say expected to fight, especially when it comes to May, it's usually summertime. So expect maybe May, June, July, we'll see Andy Ruiz coming back to fight. In the Joyce fight, man, if it's Joyce versus Daniel Dubois, if Joyce is able to look like this, because a lot of people don't know, man, Brian Jennings is a hell of a fighter, man. Hell of a fighter, man. He's been in there with world-class opposition. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been that great as of his latter years, but the movement he was displaying, I think Joyce could beat Daniel just because he's just a little bit too young. I don't think White's going to take it, though. I don't think White's going to take it. Probably 5th of May, possibly. Because I'm like, think about this. They're talking about Canelo. That's what I was going to talk about later, but we can go ahead and roll over here. You see here? I'm probably a little bit late, but Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe, they're trying to get that done for May 2nd. So I'm thinking if they're trying to get Canelo to fight in May, we may possibly see they're trying to get an undercard probably of Andy Ruiz and Dillian Whyte, right? But I don't see Andy Ruiz with PBC. So why would he take that fight when, look, I just showed y'all the heavyweight rankings. If he was trying to get that Deontay Wilder fight, then he would fight him. He would fight Whyte because Whyte's mandatory. Because where's Andy Ruiz? I don't even know why they don't even got him in the... yeah, I don't know what's up with these rankings. They don't even got Andy Ruiz ranked. But you would think in the IBF, he would be ranked probably number 2. In the WBO, he should be ranked number 2 as well. He should be ranked number 2 basically in everything, except the the WBC, obviously. See, that's the thing, man. See, the thing about Daniel, man, he has the power, man. He has the power. He has that right hand. He's kind of like a lot of people compare him to Anthony Joshua because his build, but I think his right hand is a lot more like Deontay Wilder's. So I'm like, Joe Joyce can outbox Daniel, but if that right hand lands, man, it's over, man. Because he has the power. Appreciate everybody in here, man. Keep the chat going, man. Throw a like. It means a lot once again for the channel. It means a lot. Yep. I agree, Last One. I think he should take that fight. That would be a good fight. Because I'm like, he's basically number 2 in everything but the WBC. They don't even got him ranked in the top 10 right here. I don't know how updated this necessarily is because they don't even have Andy Ruiz ranked at the moment. But I know he's number 2 in the IBF, WBO, as well as the WBA because, that's what he lost from. Or he should be number 1 at the very least. You know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all. Let me turn that off right there. Know the belts out there. He just fought AJ. Exactly. If Andy beats Whyte, we coming for those belts. It'll be a hell of a fight. If they can get that done, if they can get that fight done, man, I would be surprised, to be honest with you. Because I don't really... Dillian Whyte making it seem like he wants that fight, but it's hard for me to think Whyte would fight Ruiz just because I don't necessarily think you have much to gain from it on his point. I see him trying to fight Povetkin first, something he feels like he'll be able to beat, and then maybe he'll try and get that Ruiz fight, or he's going to try and wait for after that Wilder-Fury fight. Because if Wilder loses to Fury, Dillian Whyte could slide right on in, you know what I'm saying? So I just don't see Whyte taking a chance like that. But Whyte's known to take chances. Look, Last One, I used to feel the same way about Joe Joyce, but look, man. All right, so check this out. I'm gonna go back to this. I don't know if you saw him against Brian Jennings, but I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit. I just want you to see a little bit of how he was moving in the fight. Or maybe it was the middle rounds, because I don't want to look crazy. It's probably the rounds he don't even got that. Oh, here we go. This is when he was styling on him. Watch him. Watch him styling on him. Watch Joyce. Watch Joyce. Watch Joyce. If he can somehow find a way to do this for all 12 rounds, look at him. He can beat Dubois if he can keep him at that length. Because you got to remember, Joyce is 6'6". Okay, Daniel's only 6'4". If he keeps him at the end of the punches, he can win this fight. Look at him styling. Look at him. Brian Jennings is a hell of a puncher. Brian Jennings is 6'4" as well. Remember that. A similar build to Daniel. Daniel he's maybe a little bit more bigger, but similar build, man. If he can use that jab like that, keep him on the end. He's getting hit a couple times, but only with the opposite jab. Look at that. But he's going to have to be able to get that. And you guys got to remember, too, Joyce is relatively young himself when we talk about boxing. He only has about, I think, 15 fights, something like that. But he was in the Olympics. Because he's 33. Remember that. Sorry, I'm not going to show too much because I don't want to get flagged or nothing like that. But he was getting hit on some things. But you can see, man, if he can keep him at the end of the jab and avoid that right hand, I feel like he'll be able to do it. Because look, check this out right here, man. Because I'm like, he looks slow in the ring, but he's athletic, man. I'm telling you. He just hasn't found a way for both of those to cross over just because, you know what I'm saying, he's still relatively young in the game. Look at this. I'm like, once it all comes together, man. Me personally, and you know what I'm saying, and like his only problem is he be struggling to maintain it only because you could just still see, you know what I'm saying, he's learning just to put it all together and he's learning to be comfortable in there. Because I'm like, regardless of his age, you know what I'm saying, he doesn't have too many fights. He has his Olympic background, but he started boxing late. I think he started boxing at like 22 or something like that. So I'm like, he's still up in there learning. So I'm like, he just doesn't have really nobody behind him like that, the same way like Anthony Joshua does. You feel me? To make sure he get the right fight. He's at the point now, since he's 33, he signed in the PBC. If no one else above him wants to fight him, he got to be willing to, like, man, bro is 6'6" doing things like that. That's crazy to me, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Oh, this is where I want to show you. See this? This is Young Dynamite's Instagram. You can see, man, he's promoting this heavy, man. He wants this fight, man. He probably feels like he can beat him, and I understand why. It's gonna take forever to load. God damn it. My bad, y'all. There we go. So yeah, I was right. Daniel's under Frank Warren Promotions. I knew it. I gotta be confident in myself when I say things. Wayne, that's ridiculous. I probably can't even do that. And I'm only like 6'4". Like that dude 6'6" doing something like that, that's crazy. No, Joyce, yeah, that's crazy, man. I just answered it, not even mean to answer it. Yeah, he with Frank Warren Promotions now, man. He dropped David Hay. Oh, my bad. Daniel Dubois is with Frank Warren Promotions. Joe Joyce is with PBC now. He's with Al Heyman. Joe Joyce is at PBC Fire. My bad, y'all. But I want to see this fight. Because I used to feel the same way, man. I used to think Joe Joyce was trash. Excuse me, not trash. I just feel like he had a long way to go. But after I saw him against when he fought Bermain Sterine. I know Sterine was past his prime. Didn't necessarily look like he trained for that fight for the most part, but still, that's a solid test. And then when he fought Brian Jennings, I'm like, at the end of the day, if you want to look at resume, Joe Joyce has a better resume than Daniel Dubois at this certain time. You see what I'm saying? And that's just a fact. Brian Jennings has fought some of the best in the world. You know what I'm saying? He's lost to the best in the world. And Romain Sterving, you know what I'm saying, his record, you know what I'm saying, excuse me, his resume is solid as well. So I just feel like Joe Joyce has been more tested. And I feel like Daniel Dubois, even though he does have this movement forward, and I think there's a reason why this fight is being made now. There is a reason why. He is, but like, he is good. And I don't think he is either. I used to feel like he had a lot of improvement, Joe Joyce, but now, like, when he was tested, the way he did against Sterving, I didn't expect him to do that against Sterving, and then what he did against Brian Jennings, I for sure didn't expect that. I actually thought Brian Jennings was gonna win. And when I was watching it, I was like, damn, I'm a Joe Joyce fan, because he was styling and moving. I didn't want to take too long going through the video, but he was moving like Tyson Fury at a point. It was crazy. Yeah, I didn't even his last fights. He looked all right. You know what I'm saying? It's just I feel like Daniel Dubois is at a point he's fighting dudes he knows he's gonna win. So I feel like he needs that motivation. He needs, like, you know, I need to fight someone so I can look my best. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so much better than the guys he's fighting right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, what more can he do? But I feel like against someone who's more on his level, we're gonna see the best come out of him. But I still think Joe Joyce is maybe a little too early. Yup. I believe he's 33 though. 33, I want to say. 34. He's 34 years old. So he you know what I'm saying? This is what I always say. This is what I say to Young Zen too a lot. It's like, yeah, he's old in relative term if you want to look at sports. But when you come to, in my opinion, when it comes to combat sports and fighting, it all depends on how much damage you took. So say you started fighting at 12 years old, right? And you've been in hellacious wars all the way until you're 21. Most likely, you want to end up peaking out somewhere around 28, 29, especially in the heavyweight division, you know what I'm saying? Depending on who you are. If you're that 1%, then you know what I'm saying, then nah, that's not going to happen. But a lot of times that happens. Joe Joyce, he started late. Joe Joyce didn't start fighting until I think like 22, 23. So he doesn't have a lot of bad wars on his body. So even though he's old to a sense, if you want to look at, you know, boxing age, when it comes to boxing years, wear and tear, he doesn't have much on his body. He has no mileage. And on top of that, he's probably one of the most athletic heavyweights in the division. That's a fact. He has one of the longer reaches. He's 6'6", so he can utilize that to division. I think he's alright. I think he's good. And then you wouldn't even put that into, like last one just said, for heavyweights, that's not old at all. He did, but the thing about he did, but if you want to talk about the damage he took, you know what I'm saying? I really, me personally, I don't believe he took no damage. Like, he had some wars to an extent, but I don't know. I feel like the worst war he had was with Usyk in, I think that was like 2014. But other than that, he took little damage. 12 years is still good, but I'm like, in comparison, some people, man, they have 18 years because they start from 12 and then they 28. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot more wear and tear, but you know, it all depends on how you look at it and what's your perspective. What's good with it, Young Zed? Go ahead, throw a like if y'all in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all, man. I wasn't really having the energy to do this, but that got me lit right now a little bit. I'm enjoying the conversation. So I feel like a lot more of you are going for, if they do end up finalizing this fight for April 18th, like they're saying, a lot of you think Daniel is going to beat Joe Joyce. Because I feel like I'm sitting here trying to convince y'all Joy is a lot more better than a lot of people think. Excuse me, Joe. I said Joy. No, you're right. You're right, last one. I know. But at the same time, you rather take the damage. Not necessarily you'd rather take the damage in the fight. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. I can't argue with that. You're right. So regardless, training period. You know what I'm saying? So, but I like to put it in this perspective. There's some people, they'll have a crazy ass war in the ring. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot worse than having a crazy war when you sparring and you have protective headgear on. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, you got 16-ounce gloves on, so it's not going to be as bad as a war in an actual fight. You got no headgear on, you got 12-ounce gloves. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're fighting someone for the most part that's trying to kill you, and really, it's when in a sparring war they might be like that, but at the same time, it's like they're not really trying to kill you. So he was slick, man. I wish I could have showed you more. and I can, but I didn't want to spend too much time with it. But he was that was the best I've ever seen him look. And the reason why I'm so impressed by it is not because of he looked that good, but because he looked that good against Bryant Jennings. And I feel like I keep trying to convince y'all. You understand? Here we go. I don't even gotta go. Look at that. I feel like I keep trying to convince y'all, and this is the reason why I respect this guy. Excuse me, Bryant Jennings is 6'3". I said 6'4", so this is why I respect him. Look at his last fights. He fought Oscar Rivas. He lost TKO. He was winning that whole fight. He lost in the last round. Before that, he fought Dimitrico. Remember that Alexander Dimitrico? His last loss was against Andy Ruiz. He also beat him by TKO. He fought Joey Debajeko. He won the unanimous decision. If you guys don't remember Joey Debajeko's name, excuse me, he's a guy who was rumored to have accidentally knocked out or hurt Anthony Joshua in sparring prior to the Andy Ruiz first fight. He also fought Luis Ortiz. He did lose TKO. He fought Vladimir Klitschko. He did lose unanimous decision. He also fought Artur Slika. So I'm like, this. You can see Bryant Jennings is tested, 24-4. So the fact that he lost to Joyce the way he did, I thought that showed. I thought that meant a lot. I had to respect it. In comparison to Daniel's resume at the moment. Daniel hasn't fought someone with that type of resume yet. I know, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? You might have threw a shot he didn't mean to shoot, because you like, I don't know. When you get to that high level, there was a big rumor going around. There's probably still a rumor going around that Anthony Joshua, for his training, he does more so technical training. But I don't know how much that is true, and what they say by technical, not technical training, technical sparring. So you're not necessarily allowed to, you're not supposed to be trying to look for the KO. And that's a lot more common nowadays. When you get higher up, you know what I'm saying, the ranks, you've already had about like 20-something fights, you got the money behind you, you a brand, you're not as much. It's more so technical sparring. But who knows if it's true? You only know if it's true if you're actually in the camp. Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's move. Great one, last one. Let's go ahead and switch topics. We're gonna talk about Adam Kownacki versus Robert Helenius, a done deal for March 7th on Fox. So Adam Kownacki is also a young guy coming up in the heavyweight division. Okay, if you guys don't know that much about Adam Kownacki, he is basically a sparring partner. He's been in the training camp of Big Baby Miller. You know, they came up since they were, you know what I'm saying, probably amateurs. Well, Big Baby wasn't necessarily amateur, but they've been together, trained together for a long time. So it's basically his duo. But Kownacki was supposed to be fighting Dominic Brazil, or that was the speculation or the rumors. He was either supposed to fight Dominic Brazil or he was supposed to fight Kubrat Pulev. Well, apparently, I don't know if both of them fell through, but he's fighting Robert Helenius now. Excuse me, y'all. I'm not sure. I don't know too much about Robert Helenius, but his last fight, he fought. Damn, I can't believe I'm forgetting brother's name, man. He's a legend in the sport too, man. But basically, it was a harder fight than he should have had. Oh, Ariella, man. Damn, I almost forgot. I'm like, he's on fight night. I'm tripping. Yeah, he's Polish. He's Polish. I'm gonna see here. I'll pull up some. I'm gonna show y'all this clip real quick. Actually, let me pull this up first. So he has a real similar fighting style to Big Baby Miller. He comes forward, he'll take a lot of shots, he throws power punches. And he's tailor-made for the straight right hand, but he has a hell of a chin. But he had a lot of trouble against Chris Arreola, though. He had a lot of trouble, man. He couldn't knock him out, but he was known for knocking a lot of guys out. But this is how he fights, man. Very similar fighting style to Big Baby. Big Baby, you know what I'm saying, he's a little bit more intrusive because Big Baby has that big build. Yeah. Triple G, yeah, he's supposed to be fighting Serazameda in March, I believe, in March. It just hasn't been signed yet, but that's the speculation. That's his mandatory. So he's supposed to be fighting his mandatory. Definitely. So he's a real aggressive come forward type style. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't use his feet. He's just, he's there for punching. But when he's aggressive, man, he get crazy. Like, watch this, man. You see, he sees hurt. This didn't work on Chris Arreola, though. He won the fight by unanimous decision, but this didn't work. He couldn't knock him out this way. They basically, So, if y'all don't know much about Adam Kownacki, man, that's a little clip from Adam Kownacki. Let me show you this right here, too. Here y'all go. This is a little bit better than the fight. Hold on. I'm going to turn the volume on. Make sure the volume on up in that boy. My bad, y'all. I want to make sure the volume on so y'all can hear it. So give me one little second. I'm gonna get this right. Here we go. Yeah, volume ain't coming on. My bad, y'all. But y'all can see the footage at least. I'm gonna show y'all the footage. I don't know why the volume not coming on right there. My bad, y'all. I usually got the volume for y'all. That's a little mid work right there, I guess. Little heavy bag shot if y'all don't know much about it. Yeah, it's Sniper. Kownacki and Big Baby, man, they came up together. Their fighting style was basically the same. You know what I'm saying? They've been sparring partners for a long, long time. So they fight very similar, man. I would say Big Baby. Wait.
I was so busy trying to hit with vertical shots.
I did it, my bad, y'all.
The defense left my mind for the first few rounds, and then I thought,
I wasn't even supposed to have
it. Clever, I need to be smart and pick my shots, and I started picking and started being a bit smart, and there I landed a good shot and caught him on the point where I wanted to get more nights. So yeah, it's a lesson learned.
Well, fans have been asking for you to be tested. He did find you a couple of times. What kind of pressure was he putting you under out there?
To be honest, nothing that I'm not used to. I've been in the gyms and boxing in over 10 years and counting, so I was able to adapt to it and cope with the pressure. But yeah, he clipped me a few times, and a lesson learned. The guy was rugged and tough and strong, and he swung some swung fast punches in, so I just lesson learned again, just be careful.
A lot of people say Daniel hella boring.
Well, it's all great experience, and you are 21, great times ahead. Joyce is in the crowd tonight. He's been watching you. What kind of message have you sent out with another knockout here tonight?
It's too young right now for Joe.
The big fights lined up, and just me keep winning and keep progressing. I'm getting closer to these guys.
Yeah, and not the same type of personality
sooner,
but it can develop because he's still young. I'm like, once he hits like 25, 26, his personality will probably end up coming
And of course, you have sparred with Joe in the past, so you know what he's like. Do you think you can beat him? Do you know how?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm prepared, and I'll beat him, man. So long as his preparation is right, and I train hard, and I be focused, and I listen to the team around me, I'll beat anyone, I believe.
He might be the next.
And of course, Nathan Gorman. A lot of great fights coming your way. Oh, we've got Joyce coming our way.
What's he saying about me?
Well, Joe, he thinks he knows how to beat you. You've obviously faced each other as teammates before on Team GB. What do you think of his performance tonight, first of all?
Yeah, I think it was a good performance. I think he was troubled a couple of times up there, so obviously that comes with experience and that. But he got the job done, and it was entertaining to watch.
Thank you.
Obviously, you're now under the same banner of Frank Warren. Are you like?
So this was from April 27, 2019, right there. Y'all see that? So this is a prediction. They've been wanting to make this fight for a minute, but they wanted to make sure it was right. And a lot of times, what Joyce was saying was that he felt like there was too much risk to be fighting Daniel Dubois. But now you can see Daniel Dubois is now ranked higher than Joyce is in the WBO rankings, because Joyce is in the WBC rankings is 9. So it makes sense. He is an Al Heyman guy now. We got a Frank Warren guy. It only makes sense for them to be fighting April 18th. Y'all tell me though. I want to know from y'all who y'all got winning. All right, and then obviously Adam Kownacki, he's going to be fighting soon, March 7th. It ended up not being Kubrat Pulev. I'd rather seen Pulev versus Kownacki. Would have seen if Kownacki is really what they say he is, but you know, we're not gonna see it. So that's how it goes. So once again, positive discussions on Joyce versus Dubois is probably going to happen. That's the latest post from the Dynamite. From the Dynamite. That one isn't going to load for me, so I'm not even going to wait. Trevor Bryan. Trevor Bryan's been ranked #1 in the WBA for the last like 5 years, dog. Okay, I'm probably exaggerating a little bit. Probably the last 2 years, 2.5 years, he's been ranked #1. I don't know, but he's ranked #1. I believe though this isn't updated for Andy Ruiz Jr., so he'll probably be pushed. He should be pushed down to #2, and Andy Ruiz become #1 at the very least. And then obviously, Pulev versus Anthony Joshua is probably not gonna happen. I don't see that happening. Well, I see it happening more so than Anthony Joshua versus Usyk, but. Alright, so Josh Taylor, man, it looks like he might be back in action soon against Apinan Kongsong. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I might be saying it wrong. I'm sorry. Bid ordered by IBF for January 24th. He's coming off that win against Regis Prograis, which actually Regis Prograis we're going to talk about as well. So if y'all are interested in who Josh Taylor, Taylor is going to be fighting next, he is in a purse bid at the moment. This little clip. Ooh, that's loud. My bad, y'all. I hope I didn't blow y'all ears away. I had to stop that real quick. Real quick. Yes, Taylor's with ESPN. He's with Top Rank. Josh Taylor is now with Top Rank because he, with his previous promotional company, they were fucking up his payments, to keep it plain and simple. So now he got an IBF mandatory. This is a big deal because the fact that he's with Top Rank now, you can see him fighting Ramirez, as you can see in this article. But we can also maybe even see Terrence Crawford. Remember, Regis Prograis, he's been calling out all the big names in the welterweight division. I'm not sure who Regis Prograis is signed with, but it's only a matter of time. Maybe he gets a big promotional deal. Bob Arum is happy as a motherfucker because if there's one thing Bob Arum is lacking in comparative to a DAZN, a PBC, or even a Golden Boy to an extent, is his roster, man. People only know Terrence Crawford and Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. While when it comes, he's actually in the same lane as Golden Boy, if you want to be real, because in Golden Boy we only know. Yeah, you're right. So DAZN and PBC obviously have the biggest stable. So Bob Arum, I think right now what he's doing, he's gonna get Big Baby Miller. Well, he has Big Baby Miller now, and now he has Josh Taylor. So he's trying to get to that same level as Matchroom and PBC. Hey, Matchroom all day. Matchroom all day. Bro, I saw the same shit. I was gonna make that an article, bro. I swear, but I saw the same shit, and I'm thinking to myself, that's crazy because everything that I've looked up, it says that makes your testosterone lower. So I'm like, I don't know who told him that. I'm like, man, you're not supposed to be doing that. I'm like, if you withstanding from sex, you're supposed to withstand from all of it. You're not supposed to have any type of release. He responded to it? I'm gonna look that up. It's on YouTube? Oh, here it goes. Yeah, that was a crazy title. Oh, it's TMZ.
To be masturbating 7 times a day before the fight to boost his testosterone. 7 times a day before the fight to boost his testosterone. What do you think about this? This is some wildness.
I mean, enjoy yourself.
Could it give you an edge?
Shit. Whatever you say is for entertainment or whatever. If you want to jack off, enjoy yourself. I mean, just use the proper lotion. I mean, some on thick lotion, some like it's thinner.
Yeah,
but
mess them hands up in the process.
Yeah, most definitely. But you know, it's gonna be a great fight. February 22nd. He just promoted the fight or whatever. I just take it as that.
Yeah, man, I knew it, man. That's some bullshit. I'm like, man, that low. I'm like, nigga, that lower testosterone, man. I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that, man. You know, he just talking that shit. Because if y'all seen the press conference, man, the press conference was weak. That's a fact. Compared to it was last time they fought. So, I know. He said, go ahead, enjoy yourself. Make sure you got some good lotion. I'm like, this guy crazy. So, yeah, man, Josh Taylor back in action, man. Young Taylor. Jeff Horn. We got any Jeff Horn fans out there? Man, revenged his loss. He got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Came back. Knocked out Zarafa. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he should have gave him the third matchup, but he didn't give it to him. But, you know what I'm saying? Jeff Horn versus Tim Tszyu is in the works. In April 18th, if y'all fuck with Jeff Horn, y'all. Just so you know. Just so you know. Because we boxing here. You know what I'm saying? We talk boxing sports. We talk about everybody. Diverse. I know, that's a better addiction than coke, some would say. Hopefully.
When you lose against someone, you get an opportunity to fight them again. Victory is so much sweeter. I think the rematch is going to be like a test game at the start. I will be more explosive in this rematch. I'll be a different fighter. I'm going to make sure I push Michael very hard. And if I get him into the position I got him in around 3 and 4.
If Kel wins his next fight. If Kel wins his next fight, Kel has a fight booked. Kel is supposed to be fighting very soon. He's fighting in February. Kel's fighting in February. I do not remember the name of the opponent, but Kell Brook is fighting in February. I think if Kel beats his opponent, I believe if Jeff Horn beats his opponent, then we might see Horn versus Kell Brook. I love Kell Brook, man. I'm a Kell Brook fan, man. I just want to see him on top. I want to see Kell Brook versus Amir Khan, though. I want to see Kell Brook give the beating Amir Khan deserves for all that bullshit he be talking about Kell. This looks like Kell Brook is talking slow. I'm like, man, watch your mouth, Amir. Like, you've been knocked out more than Kell. Like, you crazy, bro. Guy's crazy, man. Maybe it's snipers. That might be a possibility. What they're trying to get, the goal was originally they were trying to get Errol Spence versus Crawford on the co-main event of Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, but the car crash kind of made everything go crazy. So they're trying to make it happen, man. We'll see though. That one, that's gonna be hard to see. I don't see Errol Spence coming right back from the car crash and fighting Terrence Crawford. I see him coming back in a warm-up fight, so we may not see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford till 2021. But that makes sense, right? You want a guy, you know what I'm saying, he went through what he went through. Let him rehab, get a fight that you know he's going to feel comfortable with, get comfortable again, and then maybe have Terrence Crawford in 2021. Because I don't see Errol Spence returning to the ring maybe until about late summer or maybe even like September-ish. Delacour, yeah, you right, lost one. Yeah, no, I don't see it happening. But yeah, Kell Brook is fighting soon. Jeff Horn is scheduled to come back. It's crazy, man. Jeff Horn gets a lot of hate for no reason, man. I think Jeff Horn's a solid fighter, man. Yeah. I know, and that's at least 2 fights. That's at least 2 fights. So, you know what I'm saying? He's going to get a warm-up, yeah. And that, if y'all saw that picture after, yo, that shit was crazy. The way he looked, like his mugshot, that was wild, man. I'm like, he blessed to be alive. So I don't see him rushing back to the ring anytime soon. He don't need to because he's big money regardless. When he comes back, He can fight someone that he's gonna feel comfortable in the ring. Fight one time this year, late this year. Probably have an early fight next year, and then start thinking about a big fight maybe late 2021. That's what I would be thinking. Maybe even early 2022. If I was his management, that's how I'd go about it. I don't like when Kell Brook talks like that, because I think Kell Brook is better than that. I'm like, that man fought Earl Spence and Triple G back to back as a smaller fighter. Like, I don't understand why people don't give Kell Brook that credit. Like, that's crazy. Kell Brook is a legend in my opinion. I thought Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. I thought Jeff Horn won. I can't dispute that. You know what I'm saying? I thought Jeff Horn won. I thought it was a hell of a fight though. I thought it was basically the reason why I feel like Jeff Horn won, and I feel like if they even had a rematch, Jeff Horn would win again, is because Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao boxing is style. Styles makes fight, and Jeff Horn's style, stylistically, is tough for Manny Pacquiao at his age now to deal with. Jeff Horn is bigger. He throws in combinations the same way Manny Pacquiao does, has an output like Manny Pacquiao. He doesn't have the same speed, but I believe he has more power at this point than Manny Pacquiao. And he's unorthodox the way he throws. Like, I don't think Sean Porter versus Manny Pacquiao is a good matchup for Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao needs a fighter who fights in straight lines, because that's how Manny Pacquiao fights. He jumps in and he jumps out, combination punching. If you fight someone who fights in like angular lines, you feel me? They can be in diagonal. They can cut diagonal. They can use their angles in certain ways as a fighter. That's hard for a high output puncher to deal with, who's jumping in and then jumping out. A rhythm fighter, a rhythm stepper, some to call it. Because it can be predictable to a sense. But at this point, I think just because Pac is older, I feel like that's the case. If he was younger, Pac wins all day. I agree with you, but I feel like but I'm like, if you just watch that fight, just turn off the announcers, turn off all the noise, and just watch it clearly. Horn, he won that fight. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. When I watched it, when I see it, I feel like just Horn was landing the more effective punches. I feel like Horn was being a little bit more of a bully on Manny Pacquiao, especially in the later rounds. I feel like Pacquiao kind of, in a sense, gassed out. Not necessarily gassed out, but I just felt like the more effective shots, the ring control, I think it was Horn. I think Horn made it a dogfight when Manny Pacquiao would have preferred it a fight like when he fought Keith Thurman. And that's Horn's type of fight. I don't think a rematch would be good for him. You seen what he did against Zerafa? I don't know if you've seen it, but Zerafa a big boy. We talking about he moved up to middleweight, I believe, to fight Zerafa. Horn's a big guy, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, Horn is a big boy. That's my only argument to why I feel like Horn is not a good matchup stylistically to Pacquiao, because he fights dirty. He throws in combination. He throws unorthodox punches. He'll throw looping punches. He'll throw hooks that necessarily aren't going to be straight lines. So that's hard for a in and out type fighter to deal with. And that's just how I was watching it. And I just felt like Horn was the bully. That's what I'm saying. When he went, that's why I said the later rounds is what impressed me. Because I'm like, when he really started bullying Pac, because I'm like, that's how I felt about it. You know what I'm saying? I actually would like a rematch, but I don't think that should happen, because obviously Horn's just a little bit too big in my opinion. Like, he's fighting at middleweight now, I think. Well, I'm pretty sure he moved up in weight, but yeah, Horn's coming back, y'all. If y'all interested, go ahead, please. If y'all in the chat, throw a like. It means a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the last topic. I said I wasn't gonna stream long. I ended up streaming longer than I wanted to, but it's all good because I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Man, good day. Regis Prograis is back. This guy, man, he's slowly becoming one of the more entertaining fighters I like to watch. Maurice Hooker, I've always liked Hooker. He's never been one of my favorite fighters, but I always like Hooker. So the fact that this is potentially being talked about, it gets me excited. Let me know if y'all excited about it. Last one said boxing or MMA. Last one said boxing all the way. If I were to choose, that's a hard one for me. Like, as of late, I would say boxing. Earlier in my days, I was more of an MMA guy. You can ask Zen. I used to watch, you know what I'm saying, the undercards from when it first started. Where I get off work, throw the undercard, I'll make sure I wouldn't miss a fight for MMA. But I've slowly turned into more of a boxing guy, simply because, you know, when you start realizing the beauty, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you turned that on me. I know I'm late too, because I know the stream off. So like, he just interrupted to say, okay, that's a good one. Yeah, no, Maurice, anyway, slowly when you start realizing the beauty of boxing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I just like boxing a little bit more now. MMA, I preferred it before. Now it's a little bit more boxing, but there's times when MMA catches my eye, like this weekend. I'm gonna be watching that, but you gotta be joking. Regis Prograis versus Maurice Hooker, man. That's gonna be a hell of a fight, y'all. Any of y'all fuck with any of these fighters? Cause I see his snipers got the jokes. Hey man, let me live, dog. I got my preferences. I could have swore Hooker recently fought. I thought he fought I thought he recently fought. Maybe he didn't. Yeah, man, I watched it, man. He knocked dude out. So I'm not. This article's wrong. They saying Hooker and Prograis coming off losses. Hooker's coming off a win, but he lost to Ramirez. If y'all didn't see that, Ramirez knocked him out. I was going for Hooker. I love boxing, man. Boxing is great. I fuck with boxing right now. MMA has its moments though, man. I love Prograis, man. Prograis versus Taylor was the fight of the year in 2019, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think a lot of people watched it. That was the problem. If Chisora versus Parker would have ended up being the co-main event, I think more people would have watched it. But I think once they saw Parker was out, I don't think many people watched it. But it's going to be a hard fight for Prograis because Hooker has that reach. But if Prograis just used the same strategy that Ramirez did, it's going to be hard for Hooker because Hooker has trouble with pressure fighters. But he has a new trainer now. He's training under Terrence Crawford's trainer. And he looked impressive in his last fight. He was doing a lot of things I was hoping Hooker would do because I would always get disturbed or frustrated when I watched Hooker fight because he never used his reach or his length. And his defense was trash. He never really had defense. Now he looks like he has some good defense. So it's going to be a good fight, man. Because Hooker's under a new trainer now. So let's go over there. Not too many people. I'm surprised he only has 15.9K followers. I feel like a lot of people know about Maurice. But maybe I'm just delusional because I've been a fan of Maurice for a while.
Now Hooker moves in, sensing he's got his man hurt.
That was his last fight. He destroyed him.
Didn't take much.
Your winner by TKO, Maurice Mighty Mo Hooker.
Appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. So yeah, he fought on the Danny Jacobs versus Chavez Jr. card. You see, he was in camp with Terrence Crawford. I remember that. So, Maurice Hooker, man. And we got Regis Prograis over here, man, doing work as always. Inside fighter, young. Billy Joe or Canelo? Let's go over there. Let's go to Billy Joe. What's Billy Joe talking about? If Billy Joe and Canelo happens, if it's going to decision, it's gonna go to Canelo. In Billy Joe's last fight, he didn't look impressive. And that was his first time moving up in weight, but that was his first time moving up to super middleweight. He looks a lot slower. He doesn't look as active as he usually looks at middleweight. So if he looks like he did his last fight, I got Canelo. But if Billy Joe looks like he usually looks and when I'm used to seeing him, I got Billy Joe. Billy Joe will outbox Canelo any day because he'll kick him at the end of the jab and he'll move his feet.
People.
But who knows, man? Maybe the move up in weight's not the best.
You know what some people say.
Either makes you slower, or it makes you more powerful, or it makes you more healthier, man. It's one of the two. It's not always the best thing. He had power, man. He knocked his last opponent out in the 11th round, I believe it was, the 9th round, something like that. But he looks slow, man. He can't fight like that against Canelo.
Tune in, Gentleman Podcast, Sunday. Don't miss it. Exclusive to you, Peter.
If he brings his game, then I got Billy Joe. I'm picking Billy Joe all day. Billy Joe's one of my favorite fighters. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, they did say that he had the flu or he was sick or something that week, and that's why. But it's gonna be a hard fight. They're saying they're still in negotiations for that. I have an article right here for that. Yeah. It's because we've been hearing a lot of reports of Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo happening, and that the negotiations started, and that it's only a matter of time. It's probably gonna happen in May. But apparently Saunders says Canelo Alvarez fight is not done. He also said he hasn't really even look. This is words from him. Billy Joe believes he and Callum Smith beat Canelo. Okay, we've all been Turkish, blah blah blah. But he's been saying he hasn't even heard nothing about it. Billy Joe Saunders says the rumors of him fighting Canelo Alvarez is news to him because his management hasn't been contacted by the Mexican superstar promoters to start negotiations for May 2nd. You know what I'm saying? That can also be a bully tactic too. It's snipers. You don't like Billy Joe? Why don't you like Billy Joe? You don't like the way he fights? Oh man, I've seen everything. I've seen everything when it comes to Billy Joe's antics. I've seen everything. This is legendary right here.
How you doing, brother? Good to see you, brother.
This right here is legendary. That's Billy Joe's only problem, man. His outside antics, man, he be tripping.
What this comment is saying, bro? What you call me a racist class?
Yeah, this year.
I mean, shit, before we go with you.
No. What?
This is legendary. Look at Billy Joe's little eyes. He's like, what's up? I don't ever back down. I don't ever back down. What's up? No. You know what? Actually, it's not real. Go ahead, bro. Oh! It's terrible, man. Billy Joe is gone, man. That was a trash ass footage. That was gonna be the one where you could really see Billy Joe hopping down, like he really ran, like he was gone. He was like a cat. The way he just hopped down, he just landed on his feet was amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, man, I understand though. I understand why people don't like Billy Joe, man. Billy Joe is the way he used to be, man, I understand. Let me do this, actually. Let me do something to try and get y'all to feel a certain way, man. This is what made me officially, when he destroyed Eubanks Jr., and I feel like Eubanks Jr. deserves more. This is when he was light. Look how light he is, man. Look at this. Look at that. He doesn't even allow you to be. Look at that. Billy Joe is a masterclass. Yeah, he smacked. He didn't smack him with the chicken. One of his boys threw a chicken at Deontay Wilder, and as soon as that happened, he just ran. He jumped over the balcony, landed on his feet, bro, and just skirted out. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Eubank would like nothing more than to have Saunders stand toe-to-toe with him and trade.
I love Billy's boxing ability, though. If you see him right here, man, he wasn't as fast when he was fighting his last opponent, but he was a lot more powerful.
What are you going to do is include?
Saunders trading, then tying Eubank up using his experience.
Well, Billy's a tough kid, isn't he? So, you know, he's going to
I understand, you know what I'm saying? People feel away. I love watching Billy fight. I don't really like these highlights. They're not really showing the best of this fight. Look at that. You see that angle? You see those angle switches from Billy Joe off of every cross he turns, man? Like, oh, man. He didn't do that none in his last fight. Look how light on his feet he looks, man. Look. This is when he starts turning it up a little bit. Look, at the end of his jab. Look at that.
He's getting back on his boxing.
I got Billy, man. Look at that, on his feet, baby. Get out there.
A load of power in those punches,
All right.
but they're good standout scoring shots.
I'm gonna stop now. I'm being a little biased just because I'm a Billy Joe fan, but yeah. In case y'all didn't know, Regis Prograis versus Maurice Hooker might be happening, y'all. I would love to see this fight, man. It's gonna be a big fight. If it's on the zone, especially, I'm gonna for sure see that fight. Yeah, last one. I'm with you, man. I love Billy too, man. I'm a big Billy fan. No, it's snipers. You completely right. Demetrius Andrade is my favorite fighter. Like Andrade is better than Billy Joe. If they would have fought, Andrade would have beat him. But I think Billy Joe, the way he uses his jab, the way he uses his angles is similar to Andre, but it's not as, you know what I'm saying, it's not as advanced, you know what I'm saying, it's not as masterful, it's not as a master class. Billy Joe uses his angles and his jab in a different way. Demetrius Andrade doesn't really use his jab to keep someone at the end of his punches, you feel me? He'll more so use it to set up a combo or to set up an angle switch. Billy Joe uses his jab literally as an offensive mechanism. Demetrius Andrade usually uses it as a distraction. And at least that's what I see, you know what I'm saying? Well, Demetrius versus Billy Joe was supposed to happen in 2018, but Billy Joe got popped for drug use. It was like a weight cutter type drug, like to help you lose weight. It was kind of like speed, and then also help you with stamina. But the thing about it, the whole situation was, it was illegal in the States, but it's legal in the UK, and that's something, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to get deep into that, but if you understand the difference between the United States drug testing and the drug testing in the United Kingdom, there's different standards. So you can take certain things in the United Kingdom that's not allowed in the US, the same way you can take certain things in the US that's not allowed in the United Kingdom. That's what happened with Billy Joe. So the Andrade versus Billy Joe fight didn't happen. We had a press conference for it and everything, man. I was hyped. That's what the press, that was Billy Joe's team basically, like response to the situation, like that it was like a sniffing salt type of thing. But if you look into the benefits of what it actually was, it helps with basically keeping the weight off, you know what I'm saying, keeping you a little bit lighter and helping a little bit with your stamina. So it's not necessarily like I can do a whole entire live about, when people talk about steroids, because like the same thing, they say Big Baby got popped, but it's like steroids isn't like, make you buff or something. Like, there's so many different degrees, if you guys understand it. And I'm like, there's so many channels that talk about that. So it's like a dude can take a diuretic. Like, how crazy is a diuretic? A diuretic just, makes you piss and lose weight, but it's not natural. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wanted that fight. I wanted that fight hard. So it's like, there's different things. I'm like, a guy like Billy Joe, I'm like, when it comes to that situation, because there's different sanctioning bodies happening in the organization, you can't necessarily condemn him, because if he's like, I've always fought in the UK, and the UK has always allowed me to use this particular sniffing salt or whatever it may be, and now that I'm fighting Demetrius Andrade, and Demetrius Andrade is under VADA, I'm not aware of what VADA's do's and don'ts are, and so he ended up getting caught up because of that. You know what I'm saying? He got a suspension for a year for it. So that's how it goes sometimes. It's the same thing with the whole UK fighters trying to fight in the US. Billy Joe Saunders had his first fight in the US, and he looked a lot different than he would in the UK. A lot of people will argue the same thing for AJ. And you just have to realize there's different stipulations and allowances when it comes to what you can put into your body to help recover when it comes to the different sanctioning bodies. For Boo Boo, well, Boo Boo's coming up. He's gonna fight Keeler. We talked about that last night. I want to see him fight a Charlo. He's been trying to get the Jamal Charlo fight he's been trying to really fight either Jamel or Jamal, even though Jamel is lower in weight. He's trying to get that fight for a minute. No one wants to fight Boo Boo. That's the problem. Boo Boo's too good. And he's so good that there's no benefit from him, because even though he has the WBO belt, if I fight him, not too many people are going to be aware of it other than the hardcore boxing fans. And nowadays it's about money. So if you're a big name fighter, you have too much to lose to fight someone as good as Boo Boo and no one give a fuck about you fighting him. You see what I'm saying? Oh, Lemieux? Yeah, that was a hell of a fight. Billy Joe versus Lemieux, that's when a lot of people don't know about Lemieux either. You know what I'm saying? David Lemieux was supposed to be the next big thing. It was kind of similar to what Terrence Crawford did to Gamboa. Gamboa was supposed to be the next big thing. Crawford came in and he basically did what he did to Gamboa. It was kind of similar. Lemieux versus Billy Joe. No one expected Billy Joe to do that to David Lemieux, and Lemieux basically he lost. You know what I'm saying? Lemieux he's amazing, but Billy Joe at his top, his peak, that boy is cold. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of boxing hardcore fans know Boo Boo. If you go and you ask the average Joe, man, hey, you know who Demetrius Andrade is? They be like, who? He a basketball player or he play football, huh? You be like, nah, he boxed. Which Charlo do you prefer? That's a great question, goddamn it. Now, what you're just asking, like, which one do I prefer watching, like as in fighting, or like just as in a whole? Well, that Billy Joe do that. Billy Joe, man, Billy Joe is a funny motherfucker, man. He troll. He don't ever stop, man. That's why I like Billy Joe. Even though he does some questionable things at time, at the end of the day, man, he a funny motherfucker. He deserve a lot more press. I'm telling you, man, if you ask people, like as a whole, but if you ask people who Demetrius Andrade is, no one would know for the most part, unless if he was a hardcore boxing fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've realized that, bro. I've had arguments in the gym with dudes who feel like they hardcore boxing fans tell me that Charlo is the best, and I'll be like, nah, bro, Demetrius Andrade is the best, and he start laughing like, I don't even know who that is. It's like, so because you don't know who someone is, he's not better than someone? Like, that don't make any sense. That's so ignorant, bro. Like, that's not even logic. But as a whole, Jamal just seems like Jamal is destined for greatness, but he's in a similar situation as Andrade. You know what I'm saying? They're both in, you know, that middleweight division. Andrade moved up though. Andrade is super middleweight now, so you know Charlo's still at that middleweight. I'm waiting for him to move up. You heard me? Getting the big boy division. Because I'm like, Canelo's supposed to be fighting Billy Joe in the super middleweight division, so it's time. But Jamal, he's cold, man, because the thing about both of the Charlos though that I see as a problem is, this is gonna sound crazy, but they're so goddamn fundamentally sound in what they do. The right stylistic matchup will expose them. What do I mean by that? They're power punches. They have a power stance, the wider stance, a little bit lower. Hands up, high guard. They move in straight lines, forward, right, left, back. If you get an angular fighter like a Demetrius Andrade against a Jamal Charlo, that's tough, right? But he's a perfect opponent against Canelo, and that's why we haven't seen Canelo versus Jamal, especially since Jamal is technically bigger than him. That's why Jermell had trouble against Tony Harrison. That's why if y'all watched the live, I was so upset because Tony Harrison should have won that fight, but he got too cocky. And he went away from the game plan. That's why Jamal had trouble against Matt Korobov. Matt Korobov, he doesn't necessarily use his angle, but he'll switch up different type of styles. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to try and break that down, but Jamal doesn't switch his style. He's right what he's going to be. Korobov, he'll switch his style to assist. So you have someone who can switch styles, use angles, keep him at the end of his punches. That's a hard fight for any of the Charlo brothers, in my opinion. Alright, hey man, last one, stay up. I'm actually not going to go that much longer. I wasn't even supposed to go this long. If y'all seen the beginning of the stream, I said I was only supposed to be a short stream. So, hey, but shout out to you, last one, man. Stay up. If you didn't give me a like, go ahead, give me a like before you get up out of here. I'm about to go ahead and actually, I went through all the topics for the most part. If any of y'all got anything else to drop, go ahead, drop it. But quick recap.